Welcome back, familiar to Northside LDN. And today, Arsenal draw 1-1 with Southampton in a game that before kickoff, I predicted that we would win this game. I thought that Arsenal would be able to do the business in this game. I thought we'd be able to easily get the 3 points. Southampton, a team that's there for the taking. They don't have much quality in their team. You know, when you're looking at some of the players, Armstrong, a player that I said is too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Premier League. Ward-Prowse, that hasn't been playing that well this season. And yeah, boy, was I wrong, because we dominated the first half. And in the second half, oh, don't worry, we're at the beach. Don't worry, caramba. Yeah, we're back in Portugal. We're in Algarve. We got our feet in the sand. Everybody chillad. Tomo uma cervejinha. Get a cup. Lay down. You know what I mean? Get the towels out. You know what I mean? Just get the suntan lotion out. Just relax. You know what I mean? Because it's vacation FC here. Today was a lack of mentality. It went from the first half, Arsenal making chances, and the problem is we wasn't clinical enough, to the second half where we was unable to create chances, unable to affect the game in the final third, unable to replicate what we were doing in the first half. And I think it was very, very naive today, but this was coming. This was coming. Once again, getting caught on a high line, getting caught on the counter-attack, something I've been talking about back when we were playing Zurich, back when we were playing teams like Bodo, back when we were playing Man United. You know what I mean? And I said that this team can get got at. And very, 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 very naive from Arsenal today. You know, when you're 1-0 up in the Premier League, it's almost as good as being 0-0 up. It's still a very vulnerable lead. And football's about moments. When you score in the right moment, you can take the wind out of the sails of the opposition. You know, at 1-0, if we scored another goal going into halftime, then you're looking at Southampton, and then you're taking the wind out of their sails, because they're feeling like, right, we've got a mountain to climb now. Even to get a draw, we need to get 2 back, you know, and stop Arsenal having all that possession and dominating the game. And that's something that we just didn't see in the second half. Lackluster for us in the second half. And that's the naivety of this manager, and ultimately not doing what we needed to do in the summer is catching up with us. And we've been getting away with it. The last couple of results you've been seeing, even in the Europa League, even playing some of the starting lineup players, because let's be real, Saka plays every time in the Europa League. And we're seeing that it's not been good enough. When we're struggling to kill off games in Europe, we're bringing on Eddie Nketiah, somebody that should have been moved on, somebody that we already know isn't good enough for Arsenal. He's not providing the goods. And if he's not providing the goods in Europe against teams like Bodo and Zurich and PSV, why do we feel like he's going to be good enough to kill off a game and kill off the game against Southampton? Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. It's the same bucaria, and this is why we're in this position. A lot of times, fans like myself that look at the squad, look at what we're doing, and with, you know, looking at it and have the foresight to see, wait, hold on, you know, we don't have the squad. We didn't do what we need to do in the summer. We are, in the way that we're playing now, the performances are a bit rocky. There's times when we're getting caught out with the high line. There's times when, you know, we're not as convincing. And when we are looking very good, like we did in the first half against Southampton, we're not putting teams to bed. We don't have a lot of killers. Gabriel Jesus is not a killer of a striker, and that is the reality. And when we first signed him, he is a player I still like, and I did like, and I still like. It's nothing that I don't rate him. But at the end of the day, when he came, my argument was, and a lot of fans, Arsenal fans that agree with me, the argument was, we called Lacazette a striker that's not prolific, but his best tally in the Premier League was 14 goals. Gabriel Jesus is the same, 14 goals. A lot of people had the argument, okay, if he's the main man week in, week out, bro, his performance, I think it was against Bodo wasn't great, yeah? Against PSV wasn't great. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of matches now where we are creating chances for him. He is getting chances, but he's not putting it away. And ultimately, strikers, you know, are judged on their output. How many goals you score. That is your job, to score goals. Yes, there's different types of strikers. You know, you can have a false nine. You can have someone that, you know, plays his back to goal. Do you know what I mean? Like a Mitrovic, someone that, you know, that's good in the air. Cool. No matter how you want to dice it, ultimately, we judge strikers on their output. Yeah, every time we look at the greatest strikers and everything, it's about how many goals did they score? Do you know what I mean? What was their output? Which is why we call players like Alan Shearer, you know, a great striker. He wasn't a great all-round footballer, but he's a great striker because of his record in scoring goals. And when we're looking at Gabriel Jesus, he's good at, you know, linking play and all this and that. But this is the same problem that we had with Lacazette. Are we really going to fall into the situation where we had with Lacazette, that we're talking about everything surrounding Gabriel Jesus's game? but not about his actual goal scoring ability. They're talking about how technically good he is, how he brings the wingers into the game, how he brings Odegaard into the game. At the end of the day, he's a striker. We moved on Lacazette because of that, and we can't allow that. We need to go into the summer, and we need to strengthen, and we need another striker because Eddie Nketiah is not it. I don't understand today why he's coming on as a winger. But then again, this manager's done it with Aubameyang. I remember when Aubameyang, anybody knew that Aubameyang is dangerous inside the box. You know, he's a fox in the box. That's the type of striker he is. You know what I'm saying? And there was times when we played him on the left wing. I mean, we tried to play Eddie Nketiah left wing in the last game against PSV. And what happened? Nothing. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't affecting the game. He wasn't good enough. So I don't understand, Karamba, why we're doing the same thing. I don't understand why this manager just keeps doing the same old mistakes. Listen, let's start off with the first half. The first half, I think we started off really well. We pegged Southampton back to their box. We were doing really, really well. Ben White, I have to give a big shout out to Ben White. Yeah, at the end of the day, Ben White, Xhaka, Tomiyasu, there was a load of them that played very, very well in the first half. Let's keep it real. Ben White in the first half, overlapping Saka, and ultimately, overlap Saka and cross the ball that led to Granit Xhaka having a great goal. And Granit Xhaka took it really well. Whoa, what's going on there? What's going on there? But yeah, Ben White played very well. And I've been asking him to do that for Saka. In the early stages of the season, we saw that when Ben White wasn't overlapping Saka, Saka was easily marked out of the game. But now that Ben White is overlapping Saka, Saka's got somebody else, another passing lane, another person, to pass to, and somebody else that's helping us break down the opposition defense. And I think Ben White did very well. And he also got back and did his defensive duties, which I like to see. At the end of the day, yeah, you can bomb forward, but you can't forget, about what you need to do and your main job. And your main job is defending. So props to Ben White. He has been doing well as right back, and I was happy to see that. Ben White did well today. He did well today, especially in the first half. I think Ben White did well today. And you're looking at Saliba and Gabriel. They were solid in the first half. You know what I mean? They played very well. Gabriel didn't do anything stupid in the first half. In the first half, he was decent. Tomiyasu as well was doing the same thing on the other side, overlapping Martinelli, giving him another passing lane. And he played very well, Tomiyasu, today. Very powerful and commanding in the air, which is something that we've seen numerous times from Tomiyasu. I was happy with Tomiyasu. Thomas Partey as well, getting the ball and sparking counterattacks, playing very, very well. I actually think Martin Odegaard, another player that I criticize a lot, another player that I don't ultimately like that much. But I think today in the first half, Odegaard was very, very good in the first half. I think he created a lot of chances. He also had a chance where he went, he kicked the ball wide. He had a very good chance, and he didn't even get it on target. And those kind of chances, it's like, Odegaard, for me, isn't good at shooting. You know what I mean? Every time he has a chance on goal, a lot of times, more times than not, it's either off target or doesn't have enough sting on it. You know what I mean? And I wanted more from him in terms of his finishing, but he was creating chances for Jesus and Saka and Martinelli, and he was affecting the game in the final third. And that's what I expect with someone that plays in the number 10 role. I'm expecting you to affect the game like that. Granit Xhaka, once again, leading by example. And I've been saying it, and I said it in the watch along. If he continues in this vein, then at the end of the day, I will eventually, at the end of the season, change my tune on Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka has been one of our, if not the most improved player in this Arsenal squad. And there has been quite a few. I can't lie. Playing Ben White at right back, he has improved, and he showed that in the first half. Granit Xhaka was excellent. Going forward, affecting the game in the final third. I saw him with a little 1-2. And when Xhaka does lose the ball, one thing that's nice is he's losing the ball in the opposition's box, not in our box or near our box, the edge of our box. And you can kind of, forgive him if he makes a mistake because we've got players already back to recover. I think Granit Xhaka played very, very well, took his goal very, very well. And Granit Xhaka's form continues. He continues. The only game that I felt like Granit Xhaka's played bad this season has been against Leeds. Other than that, I think Granit Xhaka has been tremendous this season, and he was very good in the first half. Saka also was very lively in the first half. In the first half, 100%, we were just wasteful, and we were absolutely dominating Southampton, and we weren't putting them to the sword. Saka had so many opportunities and didn't put them to the sword. Now, a lot of people want to talk to me about referees. I don't want to talk about the referee. The referee today was shocking, but at the end of the day, if we were clinical with the amount of chances that we had, it doesn't matter what the referee is doing. And at 1-0, after the Granit Xhaka goal, I said it on my live. I said, listen, if we put another goal in, which we should, we were creating so many chances in the first half that it doesn't matter that the referee's having a shocking game, because he was having a shocking game. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, if you score the goals, I mean, the referee making shocking decisions didn't stop Arsenal creating chances, didn't stop us absolutely pinning Southampton back to their box. So at the end of the day, it's on us, it's on our players to put the ball in the back of the net. Granted, Saka was wasteful today in terms of finishing. Wasteful, you know, made good chances for himself, made good chances for others, but wasteful. But he wasn't the only one. Gabriel Jesus was exactly the same, and so was Martinelli. I actually thought Martinelli wasn't that great today. I think he was average. I don't think he was that great. I don't remember him having loads of chances. He had a few chances, but this wasn't one of Martinelli's best games. But he wasn't alone. You know, Martinelli, everyone knows I love Martinelli. I think Martinelli is a top player, but at the end of the day, the front three, the amount of chances that were given, you have to finish that. The amount of time, Saka, I think he had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He doesn't score. Jesus has 3 or 4 really, really good chances as well. Doesn't score. Martinelli doesn't score. You know, Odegaard, cool, but he's more of a midfielder. But he had a chance. He doesn't score, puts it wide. It's like, it's not good enough. And ultimately, Granit Xhaka is there, you know, trying to, the only one that can find the back of the net lately. You know what I'm saying? And it's not good enough. Like Gabriel Jesus, at the end of the day, if we're creating chances for you, my biggest issue when we got Gabriel Jesus, I thought, are we going to create enough chances for this guy? Because at Man City, he got loads and loads of chances. And obviously it gives you more chances of scoring goals. We have been creating loads of chances for Gabriel Jesus. He's not been putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's something that he needs to hold his hands up and say he needs to be doing a lot better. But ultimately, this is what I was saying before, that he's not that kind of striker. He's a striker that's technically very gifted, but he's not a striker like a Lewandowski, like a Benzema. You give him a chance, boom, goal. Do you know what I mean? He's not a Haaland. He's not a Harry Kane. You give him a chance, you know what I mean? A half a chance and he will score more times than he doesn't. He's not that kind of striker. And that's why ultimately I wanted another striker. You know, I wanted another striker and we didn't go out and do that. And now we're bringing in players like Eddie Nketiah. The second half, meu Deus, que porcaria, que merda que eu tava vendo in the second half, man. You know what? I feel like when they went in the changing rooms, everyone just went on IG, just like, yo, everyone's gassed, we're playing really well, we're 1-0 up, yeah, job's done. Seeing what everyone's saying on socials, and they thought, right, we don't need to come out, we don't need to do no more porcaria. What kind of porcaria performance was that in the second half? I saw Southampton players taking the ball round Eddie Nketiah, yeah? Just pushing the ball round him like this is FIFA Street. Is this FIFA Street? This is a Southampton team, yeah, with their batty out, yeah? Ready to, bro, these men are there for the taking. They're for the taking, and they're dinking the ball, doing little FIFA Street tricks around our players. We did absolutely nothing. I can't even remember a shot on goal in the second half. Southampton completely dominated the game, and it was pathetic. By the time Walcott come on, yeah, my guy was spinning us, absolutely spinning us. That first goal was an absolute disgrace. Not only was Thomas Partey way too far up the pitch, the defensive line was way too high. Granit Xhaka was nowhere to be seen. But not only Granit Xhaka, where the hell was Odegaard as well to help defend? It was naive. We've been caught out so many times this season playing a high line. I'm not seeing that being rectified. It was just stupid. 1-2s, and the guy gets in behind Tomiyasu. At that time, you see Ben White. He sees the player just ball watching, allows him to run behind Tomiyasu. It gets the Southampton player gets a little 1-2, he's straight through onto goal. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. We need to do better. Ben White, you can't be ball watching, but he wasn't the only one. The whole defense was to blame on that. You can't allow the opposition to be making diagonal runs into the box and no one's picking up a man. There was four defenders around the Southampton player. Not one of our defenders picked him up. That is disgraceful. That was absolutely disgraceful. And naive from us. No one picked up their man. No one led from the back there. And the midfield was naive to push up that far up. And this is what ultimately the problem. Not only is it that we're not learning of how to defend against counterattacks, we also have not improved our bench. And I've been saying this so many times, even when we're winning, oh, no, side, you're crying, oh, you're a fake fan, and this and that. The only way that you can improve as a team is if you look at what you can improve. And I kept saying defensively, we need to improve. Squad-wise, we need to improve, and we haven't done that. And now it's catching up. And it almost caught up with us against Bodo. It almost caught up with us against Leeds and other teams like that. It almost caught up with us. And today, we haven't escaped free. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, but it's a draw, it's a draw, it's a draw. If we're supposed to be in this title race, we know that Man City are able to rack up 15 wins. You know what I mean? They're able to rack up 17 wins. So we need to match that. And yeah, this is only the second game of the season that we've dropped points. But the things that needed to be addressed aren't being addressed and weren't addressed. And this is why we're ultimately paying for it. Why isn't Nketiah playing as a winger? Meu Deus! Por qué? We didn't give him the number 14 and 100k a week for him to play winger. This guy isn't good enough. This bum isn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Sell him to a team in the championship. I don't care. He ain't good enough. And this is why when people say protect his value, what's his value? What is the value? What is the value when somebody like Nketiah just can't find the back of the net, not even in the group stages of the Europa League? It ain't great. It really isn't. And ultimately, it was just naive from Arsenal. Like, honestly, everything that it's like in the halftime, Arteta went into halftime and said, listen, boys, everything that you lot are doing well in the first half, do the reverse in the second half. We wasn't seeing Ben White running down the channels. We wasn't seeing Tomiyasu running down the channels. We wasn't seeing Granit Xhaka affecting the final third in the second half as much. Martin Odegaard, and this is what I say about Martin Odegaard. I can give Martin Odegaard that he played well in the first half. Second half, he was stinking, absolutely stinking out the place. Absolutely stinking out the place. That is not good enough. That is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful performance in the second half of Martin Odegaard. Completely not affecting the game at all. And this is what I say about Martin Odegaard. He either has a game that he turns up, and in a game he doesn't turn up, or he has a good first half, and he doesn't match it with the second half, not the same intensity. He wasn't playing the same through balls. It's not good enough. Like, in the first half, he played a through ball to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus one-on-one with the goalkeeper and scuffs it. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't we see that Odegaard in the second half? Continue your form. Continue doing what you were doing in the first half because it was effective. We were asking questions of the Southampton defense. Saka kind of was irrelevant in the second half. So was Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. I mean, it ain't good enough. It really ain't good enough. How many chances do we need to give it to you on a plate, Jesus, for you to finish it? And every time he goes to shoot, it's like the guy's got no sting, no power, no nothing. It's like this guy, bro. Like, he needs a vacation back to the favela. He needs to buy some new Havanas, a new t-shirt, some denim jean shorts, and just chill in Brazil for a little bit. Because I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. Started his career at Arsenal so well, but it's falling off. He's not continuing the great form. And this whole working out from the back and link up play and all that, it can only get you so far. It can only get you so far because at the end of the day, goals win games. Not little possessions and stuff like that. Goals win us games, and you're here to score goals. I'm not saying that I don't like Gabriel Jesus, but at the end of the day, you're a striker, bro. And the standard for Lacazette was to score goals when he was here, and the same standard is for you and any other striker. Running around and a little bit of link-up play only takes you so far. He needs to step up. He needs to step up. And when you're looking at also the substitutions, like Eddie Nketiah coming on for Martinelli, it's just ridiculous at this point. When you're looking at this bench, it's absolutely pathetic, bro. Like League One bench, Championship bench. You know what I mean? League 1 bench, bro. League 1 bench. Like, it ain't good enough. Eddie Nketiah, what did he do when he came on? What did he do? The same porcaria that he did against PSV? Nada. O gajo é lixo. He ain't good enough. He ain't good enough because he scored a 1-2 goals against Chelsea last season. All of a sudden, people gassed him up. That's why when he came on, I said, bro, I was sitting like this. Everyone that's been gassing Eddie Nketiah and got on to me because I criticised us renewing his contract. Cool, is your saviour going to score? Because I'm waiting for your saviour to score. He didn't score because he's ultimately not good enough. Tierney coming on for Ben White. Like, it was all average. Fabio Vieira. Let's get on to Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira came on for Martin Odegaard. Now, Martin Odegaard wasn't having a great game. Fabio Vieira comes on. Meu Deus. Esse gajo tá me matar. Fabio Vieira coming on. That was pathetic, bruv. Absolutely pathetic. Just as bad as what's his name? Nketiah. Fabio Vieira couldn't control the ball. Fabio Vieira couldn't get anyone into the game. Fabio Vieira couldn't string 2, 3, 4 passes together. Fabio Vieira didn't affect the final third. Fabio Vieira was doing nothing at all. It's the guy. No. Send him back to Porto. I've seen enough. I'm not convinced. I'm not seeing raw talent. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing great moments. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing anything from this guy. This guy is woeful. I'm sorry. I don't rate this guy, man. I'm not seeing anything from Fabio Vieira. Please, somebody tell me. He came on. He was actually worse than Martin Odegaard. I don't even know how it's possible, but this guy was actually worse than Martin Odegaard. And like I said, all these players, you know, Fabio Vieira, he's got time to change my mind or to prove me wrong. Look at Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, so far, you know, is doing his thing. Can it last to the end of the season? I hope so. But he started to change people's minds. Why? Because he keeps putting up the performances. Fabio Vieira, I'm not seeing the performance from Fabio Vieira. I'm really not. Every time this guy, like, I don't understand what this guy's got, bro. Like, I don't understand. As soon as he came on, yeah, I was like, yo, when Nketiah came on, I was like, yo, I want most of this fan base's savior, Eddie Nketiah, to come on. I want to see why they're gassing him up. When Fabio Vieira come on, I was like, okay, let's see Mini Zidane come on and do a thing. Because this is the way that this is the way a lot of Arsenal fans talk about these guys, that they're top players, like they're gonna do something for us this season. This guy ain't doing nothing. It ain't good enough. How are we getting flipping Endozi, Che Adams, you know, Che Adams, bruv. And a washed out Theo Walcott, yeah? The Theo Walcott on the decline, running us ragged. How are they running us ragged? Please make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? But big up Theo Walcott for the haircut, because he's got his hair's looking like mine right now. He's got the same trim. Big up for the trim. But this is a washed out Theo Walcott. How old is Theo Walcott now? 35, 36? Running us ragged, you know? That's embarrassing. Endozi. I don't even know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? Running us ragged. Che Adams, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on. And these guys are the ones that are running. Come on, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing, man. It is absolutely embarrassing. That second half is embarrassing. And I don't want to hear nothing. And the reason I'm not going off on the ref, yeah, is yes, the ref had the shocker, but it's irrelevant. A man gonna tell me that we need, against a dead Southampton team, we need the referee to be given red cards. Of course, those decisions that went against Arsenal. Of course, that's not even a debate. Shocking decisions. Arm round Saka, yeah, giving Saka a yellow card when it wasn't yellow card. The defender, the Brazilian defender, what was his name again? Lineco, I think it's how you, I don't even know if that's how you say it. Flipping grips up Eddie Nketiah, grabbing him by the neck and headbutting him. But at the end of the day, yeah, at the end of the day, we created more than enough chances to put these guys to bed. And it doesn't change the fact that goals win games and we still didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Yes, the keeper was shocking. Yes, the keeper got a lot of decisions wrong. Of course, I agree. But that's not good enough, people. That's not good enough. 1 moment. Work is calling me, people. Hold on. Right, people. Sorry about that. Man's multitasking in that. Switch mode. Right. Man's been multitasking all day. Sorry about that, people. As I was saying, what was I saying again? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, even though the referee had a shocker, even though the referee got a lot of decisions wrong, even though the referee, for me, made a lot of howling decisions. A lot of decisions that were ridiculous. Honestly, I'm not going to miss this man. I don't even think this guy should ever referee again. Let's keep it real. It was that bad. It was. But at the end of the day, that's not a get out of jail card that we didn't do what we need to do in the summer. It's not a get out of jail card that we're absolutely dominating and then we absolutely just left our batty out against Southampton in the second leg. It doesn't make it. It doesn't allow certain players to go missing. Yeah, literally go absolutely missing in the second half and not affect the game and just go through the motions and be naive enough to think that they don't have to kill the game off and 1-0 is good enough because we've been getting away with 1-0. It doesn't take that away. At the end of the day, if you score the goals, the referee becomes irrelevant because goals win games. And if you do what you need to do, dominate your opposition and hit them in the moments that you need to and take the wind out of the sails and absolutely just put the game to bed, the referee becomes irrelevant. But when you do what we did, go 1-0 up and think that you can relax and chill out and you want to go for a massage and a pedicure and everything is calm, there's no need to put any effort in the second half, you will get punished. This is the Premier League. It's the hardest league. And even teams like Southampton that are dead will still make it hard for you. So it is what it is. Leicester, they were like bottom of the league and they won today against Wolves, I think it was. So at the end of the day, there's no easy games in the Premier League. This naivety from this team, from this manager, yeah, is what cost us today. Because if we kept the same energy second half and we were more clinical, we win this game comfortably, at least 2-0. At least. It's naive and it ain't good enough. And all of this, I'm already seeing some people put, but the manager, listen, with so many games, with the games that we played so far this season, no one's talking about the referees and VAR. At the end of the day, referees have been shocking, not only for Arsenal, for the whole Premier League. And if Arsenal fans want to talk about VAR and the referees, keep it consistent. Because even when the referees and the VAR ain't shocking towards our decisions and towards our matches, we should keep the same energy for every other club. Because this is not just an Arsenal problem. This is a refereeing in England problem. So at the end of the day, we need to keep it consistent, not only when it affects us, yeah, but also keep the same energy towards all clubs. Because this is a big problem. Big problem. This season, I've already seen players like Rashford, controlling it with his chest and they're ruling it off and then scores and then they're ruling it off saying it's a handball. This is not just an Arsenal problem. These referees, these shocking referees are refereeing in all the games and they need to be held accountable. Personally, for me, they should be mic'd up at the end of the game, just like the managers. They should be coming into the press conferences and giving us reasons as to why they make certain decisions. Why is it when Nketiah's being held by the throat like that and then headbutted, why is it that you're not going back to VAR and checking that? Why are you not making that decision? And if you've got the mic, we can hear why you're making a decision. But they should be accountable. Managers are made accountable. Players are made accountable. Referees should also be made accountable. They're the only ones that can do whatever they want and then they walk away scot-free and they don't have to answer for anything. But that is not an excuse for Arsenal to be this naive. It's not. And ultimately, if we don't do what we need to do in January, bro, I'm just telling you right now, forget it. There is no title race. If we don't do what we need to do in January, forget it. And all the stuff that this club's been saying about, we want to win league titles, we want to do this, we want to compete with Europe's elite and all that. If they don't capitalize on the fact that we're ahead of schedule under Mikel Arteta, then they're never going to back him. Because if you're not going to back him when he's still top of the league, even though we drew today, we're still top of the league. If we're still top of the league or thereabouts in January, and they don't go out and support him, they don't really care about competing. The target is get Champions League, money, yeah, and that's it. We don't want to push on for anything else because we're getting our revenue, we're getting our sponsorship deals, we're getting the money, we're still able to attract certain players because we've got Champions League football, and we don't need to push on anymore. We don't need to do any more. We're doing good enough. All the merch is getting sold off. Every new kit, training kit, the fans are still buying it. We're done. Why do we need to invest more in a company that is that's making us money? Because let's be real, it will show us that they're running us more than a business than a sporting club. If they're just thinking about the zeros and the digits and the numbers, we're gonna see. January, they can't get away with it. They can't get away with it because what Mikel Arteta has still been able to do, even though today I think the second half is on him. The first half, I think, is on our front players, our front three, Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka, not finishing their dinner. Ultimately, he's put them in a situation that, look, I'm so far with the squad, the level of squad I've got, yeah, even though he could have done more, I'm getting a lot out of them, more than you guys expected. Help me out. I can't buy players on my own. I need you guys to sanction it. So It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So for me today, this was coming. You know, a slip up was coming. I didn't think it would be against Southampton, to be real with you. I didn't think it would be against Southampton, but this was coming. This was always going to come. Do you know what I'm saying? This was coming because we were naive in the way that we were defending in a lot of situations. And that's what it is. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? And now, you know, we're dropping points. This is just poor. It's just poor from Arsenal today. Absolutely poor. I thought it'd be a calm weekend, but yeah, the banter parade is back in full force. You know what I mean? You know, we didn't learn from Leeds. We didn't learn, you know, about, you know, even against Liverpool and games like that. Like, we didn't learn, man. You know what I mean? We need to tighten up this defense. I don't know, man. I don't know. Today was disappointing, really disappointing, because we started off so well. And in the first half, you're thinking, right, let's kill it off. Let's kill it off just before half time. You go into half time, you're thinking, okay, cool. The first 5-10 minutes, let's really stick it on them and get another goal. And then we can just, you know, slow the game down. But nah, you know, we wanted to slow down the game at 1-0. And it's just naive. It really is naive. I'm going to get into some of you guys' comments. Really going to get into some of the comments, but poor, man, poor. The way we allowed that goal, really, really poor. But let's get into some of the comments now. Let's get into some of you lot's comments on the game. What's this here? Lack of squad depth, score first and sit back football, unsustainable. Need to add quality to the squad to keep up the momentum. Long season ahead, bro. This is what I'm saying, and it's sad that, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans always want to have this. Oh well, you know, we're doing good so far. Yeah, well, that so far hasn't lasted that long, because now look, you know what I mean? It's mad. It's mad poor. Hold on a sec, people. Let me just quickly take this goal. This call, and then right, I'm back, people. Listen, it's not easy multitasking, man. Man's working and still doing this. So love to everyone with the patience. Love, make sure you hit the like button. But yeah, I appreciate the patience, because yeah, otherwise I'd have to get you the content tomorrow. But I'd rather do it on the spot. It's good to talk about it now, isn't it? But yeah, it is what it is. What's this here? Right, let's get into some of the comments. Let's see what some people are saying. Today's very disappointing. Natstar, big up Natstar, bro. Big up Natstar, big up Root Cause, big up Consal. You know what I mean? Big up One Touch, big up everyone, man. Big up everyone. The time is now for the whole fan base to put it on the football club. Yeah, but will the club do it? Will the fan base do it? You know, this fan base, they set certain standards. Like last season, it's get top 4, get rid of this manager. And then when the time comes and he doesn't deliver, then it's, oh, well, you know, don't worry about it. So that's what I've seen in this fan base a lot. You know, they will say, oh, you know, this season, what was the same this season? If Mikel Arteta doesn't get Europa League or win the league or like be in a title race, then he needs to be fired. If he underachieves on that, they'll still say, oh, don't worry. Like, you know, he goes again, it means more of his players. That's always the excuse. There's always another excuse behind when they set standards. You said PSV would slap us and we won. Let's get that out of the way. I don't remember saying PSV would slap us. I actually predicted, first of all, you're chatting rubbish, because first of all, I said that we'll beat PSV. I actually predicted 3-0. And when I did the watch along, that's proof. And I did the match reaction. So I don't know what you're coming with all of that. I think you're a little bit rattled, One Touch, because you've been the main guy that's always up this club's arse about everything that they do, and everything is amazing and everything is sublime. So I think you're sounding a little bit rattled. I think at the end of the day, one thing that's good having a YouTube channel, everything I say is documented. So if you go back into that, I actually predicted 3-0. So nice try, because I never said that. Today, we were so wasteful. Jesus and Saka specifically, bad subs by Arteta, I can't lie. But the game should have been over in the first half. Today was not good enough. Wow, the first time I'm ever hearing you, One Touch, holding this club to accountability. Listen, I agree with that. I do agree with what you're saying. And yeah, it wasn't good enough. I don't really think anyone could argue anything. I could really argue against that. No beer today. No beer today. And it's got work again tomorrow, so just juice today. What are you lot saying? We need to add quality options, another goal-scoring striker, a goal-scoring mid, and actual right back, and stop playing Tommy out of position just because he pocketed Salah once. I actually thought that Ben White and Tomiyasu were good, but ultimately they're going to have times where they get caught out because they're centre-backs that are playing in full-back positions. And yeah, they had a good first half, but ultimately, I agree. Like that's not their position, and because that's not their position, they're going to be making mistakes or lapses of concentration because that's not their game. Do you know what I mean? So listen, I don't think that that's sustainable. I think we can give praises for the games they've played well in those fullback positions, but ultimately they will get caught out. They will get caught out. Ben White played well today, but eventually he'll get caught out. He's not a fullback. He's not a fullback. You know, it is what it is. Tomiyasu, same thing. One Touch, Niger, my bro, this is why Arteta ain't good enough to win us the league. But he's only good for top 8 and top 5. That's it. Arteta lacks observational skills, hence making poor subs. That's what I'm saying. Like, ultimately, he's poor at building a squad because he got rid of a lot of players that could have done the job and stuff. What's this here? Northside, our club needs to start fresh, sack Arteta and bring in a proper proven manager. Northside, just checking, did you block me on the watch along for saying we can't win every game, my bro? I didn't block you. I didn't block you. I put your comment out and I read your comment. I didn't block you. I didn't block you, bro. If I blocked you, real talk, I'll just say I blocked you, but I didn't block you. What's this? Subs were mad. Odegaard, Martinelli should have stayed on. If we're bringing on Nketiah, it had to be for Jesus through the middle and not through the left. Martinelli should have stayed on, I'll be real. Even though I didn't think it was an amazing game for Martinelli, he should have stayed on. Odegaard, to me, this is the thing though. Like, Odegaard, for me, ain't good enough and wasn't playing good enough in the second half. But, you know, you don't want to keep a player on when they're not playing good enough because they need to be held accountable to how they're playing poorly. But at the same time, it's like you're damned if you take him off, you're damned if you don't take him off. You don't take him off, then everyone will be like, why don't you put Fabi Vieira? You put Fabi Vieira on, and Fabi Vieira is worse than Odegaard. It's just, why did we even get Fabi Vieira? Like, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. I'm not hearing shit about nothing. Arteta was on that pack. From the lineup to the subs, his decision-making today was poor. As for the team, we were off, but needed support from the manager. I think players need to be accountable. At the end of the day, in the first half, I actually feel it was more on the the forward players than it is on the manager. You know, the manager set them up so that we was creating and dominating the first half. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. You know, he's not the one that's got, you know, but at the end of the day, it's on the players to finish off those chances. We're playing in a way that's creating chances. Saka had chances. Martinelli had chances. Gabriel Jesus had chances. It's on the players now to finish their chances. It's not really Mikel Arteta's fault that Gabriel Jesus is going one-on-one with the goalkeeper and fluffing it. You know, Saka having chances, fluffing it. Odegaard hitting the ball wide. Martinelli, you know, in and out of the game for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not really his fault on that. But it is his fault that he didn't make the right substitutions and he didn't get the players up for it and more clinical in the second half and allow the players to just relax and take his time. Like, that is on the manager. I'm finished supporting Arsenal. They're killing me. What the F? How we draw that game? I'm going to go support City if we don't win the league this year. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's jarring, man. It's actually jarring. 100% Xhaka has improved. I heard Xhaka has improved. Whether you're a Xhaka fan or not, Xhaka has improved this season. Can't deny that. Can't deny that. But he needs to keep it up. He does need to keep it up. What's this here? Um, I actually agree with you. We should have deaded the game 2-3-0 at halftime. We were our own worst nightmare. I think you mean by the way you spelled that. But yeah. I get what you're saying. One touch. Sign Ivan in Jan. How much do you think? 35 to 40 mil. Yeah, I think 40 mil will be reasonable. I think 40 mil would be reasonable for Ivan Toney. Probably their best, obviously their best player, and they're going to need to replace him and stuff. I think 40 mil is calm. Anything more than that, I think, is a bit too much. And I think Brentford, they're not flush with money. I think they'll take that. You know what I mean? I think they will take that. Probably 40 or 40 plus performance-based add-ons and all of that stuff. Big facts. We were not clinical. We weren't. Poor in front of goal today. Poor and naive defensively as well. Midfield got absolutely ran out today. 40 mil if we convince Ivan Toney to hand in a transfer request. I think he will come. I think he would come, man. You know what I mean? Spurs and Concert, the same team lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle that we beat with ease. Behave yourself, man. This hate for Arteta needs to stop. Come on. Bro, we need to stick it on this manager, because at the end of the day, like, it's naive, bro. It's naive to have this kind of a bench, going into the season. And I said this once before the transfer, we went into the summer transfer window, and I'm saying it now, and I knew eventually it would catch up with us. He decided, him and Edu are the ones that decide who comes in, who goes out. And they decided to sanction a lot of players leaving. That's a lot of them, yes, are players that I wanted to leave, but also some of the replacements that come in ain't been good enough, or we ain't even replaced the players that we got rid of. So it ain't good enough, bro. Like, a team in a club is not just the first starting 11, bro. It's not. And now that this, I'll be real with you. Now that this starting 11 is having to play 2 times a week, it's starting to catch up with us. It's starting to catch up with us, because I've been saying it. When you put in the second string team, it's not good enough. Which is why even in the group stages, even under Arsene Wenger back in the day, you're in the group stages, and then you just put the kids up, and it's good enough to top the league or come second in the league and qualify. Nowadays, we have to keep going into group stage matches and be playing like 5-6 regular starters. That ain't good enough, and it needs to be called out. And it's because we haven't built this squad in the right way. We just built a starting 11 and hope and pray. I don't think it's good enough. Ivan Toney, Maddison, Tielemans, Ndidi, Neto, Digne, plenty of options to buy. But will we? Well, if we don't, you already know I'm coming for this club. I'm coming for their next, because I'm not having it. Bit like Man United yesterday. First 30 minutes, we could have been up by 3 before Kovacic came on. 2 points lost for both of us. Yeah, it's poor. It's poor. It's poor. What's this here? One touch. They can't help themselves, my bro. They sit and wait and look for any nonsense to come for the manager. I would advise most of you to wait until we're one a losing streak to kill him. Listen, at the end of the day, fans like yourself, are the ones that you're saying that we shouldn't come for the manager and wait. People like you were overly gassed that we're definitely going to get top 4 last season. You know what I'm saying? And what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't really know what you're on about. You know what I mean? What am I sitting and looking? I saw last season that the squad was thin. Yeah, the squad is still thin this season. I saw last season that it wasn't good enough. Certain things that we needed to do weren't addressed. This season, we still haven't addressed the things that we didn't address last season. Yeah, we had one decent striker last season. We have one decent striker this season. We don't have the quality on the bench to really affect the game. So what are you talking about? I've been saying this, even when we've been winning, because I've been saying it's going to catch up to us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you're getting so rattled about Mikel Arteta, bro. Like, it's mad, because not only were fans with my mindset, but fans also with your mindset wanted Arsene Wenger out. Yeah? Them man don't get called. Them man don't get looked at in a negative way. And Arsene Wenger was a washed out Arsene Wenger, but he was a club legend. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, why was it okay for everyone to get together and get Arsene Wenger out, but not okay to get Mikel Arteta out? Like, who's an Arsenal legend and who's not? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, the club didn't start or stop with Arsene Wenger. The club don't start and stop with Mikel Arteta. If he ain't doing well enough, then I'm going to call him out. I call that a club legend. My point is, I call that a club legend, manager before. This guy's not even a legend. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, bro. Anyone can get it. The club comes first. And when we see what's happening over there with Man United, yeah, where you got half the fan base that love Cristiano Ronaldo more than they love Man United, that shows you where your loyalties is. Because my loyalties is not with Martinelli, Saka, Gabriel Jesus, Mikel Arteta. My loyalty is with that badge. Because it's this club that I love. And everybody else here is here for a reason of getting paid and the exposure and themselves. So at the end of the day, I'm not on all of this. Oh, you're coming, they're just coming for the manager. Bro, you're going on that this manager, one day, whether he's successful or not, he's gonna leave. Yeah, your loyalty should be with the club. You know what I mean? The other day, and the example I'm trying to bring is the other day, Ronaldo walks off, yeah, because he doesn't want to be in the bench. He doesn't want to do the best for the team. It's all about him. There's a lot of people that's going to co-sign that crap because they care more about players and individuals than the club. And you have the same crap here at Arsenal. Oh, why are you coming for the manager? Who cares? Who cares, bro? Who cares? At the end of the day, he ain't Arsenal, innit? He's an employee of Arsenal. So it is what it is, bro. If he ain't good enough, he ain't good enough. Or if he does a mistake, he does a mistake. Like, these men are defending Arteta, yeah? He got so butthurt whenever anything is said about Arteta. Bro, if Real Madrid or Barcelona come in right now, yeah, and say, Mikel Arteta, we want you to be the next manager, he's gone. If Bayern Munich say, yo, Arteta, we want you, he's gone. Blood, I don't understand, like, some fans. I really don't. Like, these people really think that they, like, a lot of these employees of your club really love your club. Very, very few love your club, if any. So, get out of here, man. These men are bare rattled about employees that if they got a better job or at a better club, they'll bounce. They'll bounce. What are these men on, bruv? We've seen loads of players and stuff, employees of the club bounce. You know what I mean? Whenever they feel like they're getting something better somewhere else. I remember Fabregas used to hold this team like by himself, but Barcelona came. Oh, he wanted to go back. Next thing you know, he's back. You know what I mean? Alexis Sanchez. We made Alexis Sanchez's career go up like that. As soon as Man United started calling, as soon as like stupid amount of money started calling, he bounced. Like, bruv, stop twerking for this manager. Because trust me, if he does become what you lot think he will become, a bigger team comes in for him, he's gone. He's gone. It's I don't know, bruv. Northside, I started making videos. They got watermarked. I'm gonna get a different editor. Big up to you. Arsenal allowed a bang average team like Southampton to be more dangerous and determined in this second half. A title contender can't miss the amount of chances they had in this game. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. I do agree. What's that? Tell me another manager winning the league with this squad. Who? Well, I'll tell you this. Another manager would not be going and getting Lokonga that's not good enough. Yeah? They wouldn't be getting Davaj. They wouldn't be getting Ben White for 50 mil. They wouldn't go and only get Gabriel Jesus and then extend Nketiah's contract. They wouldn't extend El Nene. They wouldn't not address the midfield when that was the weakest part of this team. They wouldn't be solely relying on youngsters to be playing week in, week out. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He created this situation for himself. He's the one that got rid of 6 players in January. He's the one that's extending contracts of players that are not good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like El Nene, like Nketiah. So as much as people say, oh, who would do better with this squad? He's created the squad now. It's not like he's only been here for 2-3 months. He's been here now coming on 4 years now. So what are you talking about? Like, it don't make no sense. Oh, who would get better with this squad? First of all, they wouldn't build a squad like this in the first place. Because this is not how you build a squad. You don't build a squad of starting 11 of youngsters and then put even more youngsters on the bench when you know that youngsters are gonna be inconsistent. You don't do that. But it is what it is, and you don't go through a transfer window like January and not do any business. And like I said on the live watch along, and I said it's a forward because forward came on the live watch along and he said, Northside, but Man City got Haaland and then we can't get players like that. I said to him, bro, why don't we plan to always be on our opposition's neck all the time? And I gave the example of Atletico. Atletico can't buy the same players that Barcelona attract, that Real Madrid attract. But one thing that they're good at is they always go and strengthen where they need to strengthen. And as soon as one of them two drop off, because football comes in cycles, when they start to rebuild, Atletico win the league. They go for the league. Yeah, because they've already got what they needed to. We now could jump Look at the way Liverpool have been falling off, losing to Nottingham Forest the other day. We can jump and actually, make the most out of that. But we're not in position because if Gabriel Jesus gets injured or suspended, we don't have the rotation. When we didn't address the midfield, we don't have adequate rotation for Martinelli and Saka. Yes, you may not be able to buy the exact same players that Man City can, but you can still strengthen your team and maximize, which is what this club said, maximize every transfer window. So any way you cut it ain't good enough. Like at the end of the day, yeah, we know what other rivals have got, but at the end of the day, we don't take opportunities. We had the opportunity to get Paulinho. We had the opportunity to get Basuma. We had the opportunity to go and get Zaha. We had the opportunity to go and get Ivan Toney, to go get Mitrovic, to go get all these players in the summer, and we didn't. So at the end of the day, don't give me, who else is winning the league with this team? Because no other manager is naive enough to build a squad like this. And this is exactly why we're not going to be consistent enough. Because of the way that he's built this team. You can't tell me us going into games having 15-year-old on the bench is good enough. And you can't tell me that every time we're bringing on these subs that are not good enough, championship level bench, that they're actually affecting the game. Nketiah's not affecting the game whether he comes on in the Premier League or he comes on again in the Europa League in the group stages. And if he can't score against Bodo and Zurich and PSV, God help us if one of the big teams from the Championship drop into the Europa League and we're having to rely on Eddie Nketiah. Come on, man. Like, one touch, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, it ain't gonna work today. It ain't gonna work today. What's this here? Well said, Northside. Big up to you, bro. Facts, Northside. VAR is trash right now. We can't leave it to the refs. Take your chances. I do agree with you on some things you said today. One touch. I think slowly, caramba, you're starting to understand. You know what I mean? You're starting to understand. But certain things you said today, I can't personally agree with. We are a different team this season, bro. Stop talking about old news. We're not a different team because we're still getting exposed in a counter-attack. We still are light in terms of the squad. We still only got one striker. How are we a different team? Like, we're a different team in terms of the way that we play. But even the way that we play, let's be real, the last couple of games, even the way we play hasn't been that great. The mentality is now starting to slip a little bit. The two things that I was praising this season is now starting to fade. And it's because the squad is getting stretched now. I'm telling you. But it is what it is. Don't worry, one touch, because I ain't going anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we can talk at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Give it gigs to the end of the season. Playing at White Hart Lane is just a mental block. We never win, and vice versa at the Emirates. Yeah, I agree. What's this? And I asked because you keep mentioning Spurs like the team you wish we were. No, I mentioned Spurs because as Arsenal standards dropped, and this is a fact, Spurs got better. And yeah, this season we're above them. But let's see how we finish the season. When I see them doing things and we're not doing it, I'm thinking, bro, little Spurs, little Spurs that we are a bigger club that and stuff. Why are they doing certain things better? In my opinion. But it is what it is. Like, you may not rate everything that Spurs do. I don't rate everything that Spurs do. But when I'm seeing them going and addressing what they needed, whether it's good enough or not, we're yet to see. But going and addressing a lot of deficiencies in their squad in the summer, I'm thinking, why can't Arsenal? That's why sometimes I bring them up, because I'm thinking, bro, these bums, yeah, how are they able to do that and we don't do that? You know what I mean? That should be a minimum. That should be a minimum. But it is what it is. What's this here? Our fan base are a bunch of flip-flops, bro. Listen, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. What's this? Northside, okay, respect, bro. Yeah, no, I didn't block you, bro. What's that? Arsenal not good enough to win the Prem, bro, as you're relying on Naka come off the bench. Nketiah, I think you're talking about. But yeah, we're not, bro. We're not. But the thing is, yeah, at least what I want minimum is at least sustain. What was it? At least sustain a title run. That's what I want, at least sustain a title run. I'm talking about until at least April, May. Do you know what I mean? But we don't have the squad to keep this up. We're not. We're already seeing them burning out a little bit. I'm not naive to our problems as well. I definitely We definitely need another striker who can bring something different, and I expect us to do something in January. Well, let me ask you the question. Last January, they said that we can't find anyone, or it's too expensive to find a player. What makes this January any different? Everyone kept saying in January it's hard to buy players. So by that basis, that means that we're never buying in January. That's what all the fans were saying. There's not what I'm saying, because you go and get what you need to get, regardless if it's January or the summer. At the end of the day, there's always a premium, because January, if you're performing well, your club doesn't want to get rid of your player because they want to achieve their targets. Summer, they got a lot of teams. There's not a lot of teams. Everyone is looking to strengthen their side. So there's multiple offers and interests on players, and then they like to do a bidding war, or they like to get as much as they can for the player because they're thinking, right, there's loads of, we're going to hike the price up because the demand is high. So either way you cut it, for me, it doesn't really matter if you go for the player, to buy players in January or in the summer. It's in terms of price, it's going to be roughly around the same thing anyway. There's always incentives to the selling club to rack up the price, because either the player's in demand or the player's performing really well and they need them to get them Champions League or to win them the league or whatever the case may be that club is going for that season. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. No, sir, not me. I never was one who thinks we had it all figured out. I know we were inconsistent, and I would never say we had top 4 in the bag, my bro. Wrong guy. Okay, cool. Well, if you didn't, then cool. What's this here? Hey, Northside, big up to you. Hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, Kadam. I'm not going to repeat again. You know what I mean? The club is the Estrella. Yeah, it's the Estrella. The club is the star. The club is the star. Can't see the point bringing in Ketia on. The guy is out of crap. He's a League 2 player at best. Need a striker and a defensive mid to back up Partey and another attacking mid. What's this here? Eddie on 100k has ruined the wage structure. All players on outgoing contracts will demand 200k plus, and they should. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So you have to go. So you have to have a goal this year. You won't get a better chance at the league for it at least 5 years. Exactly. We're in a very good position right now. But if we don't capitalize on it, and I've seen Arsenal not capitalize on it, and the biggest one that comes to memory is when Leicester won the league. Yeah, and we didn't, and we said there's no value in the market, and this and that, all this bullshit. All the crap that was coming out of the club, and we bottled it. We could 100% won the league the year that Leicester won the league, but it was all about trust the process. Don't worry, don't need to. We could all see the deficiencies of the squad. The club chose to do the cheapskate thing and not get it done. I hope we sign players in Jan to help. If we don't, I'm gonna be so pissed off. What's this? What have Spurs addressed? The man are replacing Chicken Royale with Doherty and Skip for Højbjerg, Sanchez for Dyer. Spurs are dead food, man. Allow it. Well, hold on. Chicken Royale wasn't bought this season, this last transfer window. Doherty wasn't bought this transfer window. Yeah, and Sanchez wasn't bought this season either. So what are you talking about, One Touch? You're talking absolute nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Those players weren't bought the last transfer window. So I don't know what you're on about, bro. And if you got them standards, yeah, why haven't we replaced certain players in this squad then? Why haven't we replaced El Neni? Why didn't we replace Rob Holding? Why haven't we replaced Eddie Nketiah? Well, you know what I mean? Why haven't we replaced Tavaj? Why have we even got Tavaj? You know what I'm saying? So, bro, you can't hold that standard towards Spurs, and then when you ain't holding it back towards your own club. You know what I'm saying? It ain't good enough, bro. It ain't good enough. I'm not saying that everyone they bought is crazy, but at least they're trying to address it. We're not even addressing it. We didn't go for a striker. We didn't go and get another proper winger. We didn't get a deep line playmaker. I'm just saying, bro. We didn't go and get a right back. And these are all positions that we needed to get, and we didn't even address it, bro. So it's just the truth. Whether people like to hear it or not, it's the truth. you know. But don't go anywhere and don't start moaning and crying and whinging and we needed this, we needed that, bro. When the Wolves fall off, which what they will, because this squad ain't good enough right now as it stands. Don't start saying what I'm saying, because I already saw it from the start, innit? You know what I mean? But Caicedo plus Tony would do a lot for you guys. Add Maddison and a winger, and you're going for it. Yeah, I can agree. Caicedo, you know, Tony 100%. Maddison and Tony 100%. I'd want at the club. The thing is, if we do by some miracle bring in reinforcements, I hope it's not at the end of January and the business done early. Bro, you know how they love to stretch out a transfer that we get in, bro. Like, you'll get the player in, they want to announce it like 3 weeks into the flipping transfer window. So I get what you're saying. Well, let's see, bro. Let's see, because there's no hiding from it. But this fan base are notorious of always finding an excuse. You know what it is? You remember it last transfer window, when we got rid of Aubameyang. Then it was, we don't want to panic buy. If you don't want to panic buy, yeah. Then why get rid of the player? Get rid of the player at the end of the season. Get rid of him at the end of the season. Oh, but he was toxic. He was toxic. Were you in the dressing room? How do you know if he was toxic or not? How do you know if he was toxic? Oh, he was toxic. Oh, Guendouzi was toxic. Guendouzi was toxic. Were you in the chat? Were you in the with the background staff? Were you in the changing rooms? Because I ain't heard about Guendouzi being toxic over there in Marseille. I'm not hearing about Aubameyang being toxic over there at Chelsea. I'm just saying that narrative for me, I'm not convinced with that. Yeah, I'm not convinced. In my opinion, I'm not convinced. And the fact that the club never allowed these players that are so-called toxic to ever have their say, for me, just goes to show that, you know, it ain't really the way they want to put it. And clubs always want to save face, innit? They're never going to say, oh, we were wrong. They're never going to say, oh, yeah, you know what, we were wrong. Like the way that, bro, I'm not on it, man. I'm not on it. Guys said there was a massive upgrade on El Neni and Lokonga. For when Thomas gets injured or needs a rest. Yeah, I think of course he's of course he's an upgrade. Caicedo is definitely an upgrade on El Neni. Game finish, Spurs just lost to Newcastle 2-1. Listen, if Arsenal got their job done today, then I'll be looking a lot more confident. But listen, I'm very happy that Spurs lost. Losing to Man United, now losing to Newcastle. I can't wait for the rival show tomorrow. People, make sure you lock in tomorrow for the rival show. Me and Deji Spurs. I can't wait to be cooking, man. I'm going to be shameless because Arsenal didn't lose, even though I'm annoyed. We didn't lose. These men are losing 2 games on the bounce. I can't wait to see Expression's reaction. But that guy's going to be, cut the stream, Dave. Cut the stream. Oh, I love Expressions, man. He's hilarious, man. That guy is so entertaining. But listen, if you lot want to see did you get cooked tomorrow, make sure you tune in to the rival show. I'm gonna instigate. I'm probably gonna bring Fuad, because I know Fuad loves to poke the bear. Like I'm gonna get Fuad on the rival show. Me, Deji, and Fuad, and me and Fuad will just cook Deji, innit? Like, obviously his little prediction about Spurs winning the league or the Champions League, yeah, it's looking a bit peak right now. It's looking a bit peak. I've had enough, blood. I've had enough, fam. Roast Deji tomorrow, bro. As long as Deji can do it, But yeah, we'll be doing the rival show tomorrow. Deji's gonna get roasted, bro. Deji's gonna get roasted. I can't wait. X is having a meltdown. Big up Northside. See you tomorrow, bro. Hopefully, I'll catch it live. Big up to you, bro. It probably, obviously, because Deji got kids and stuff like that. They got, family life and stuff. It's probably going to be maybe a 7 or 8 p.m. stream, probably around that time. So, yeah, I'll get everything set up. And happy days, bro. Happy days. Meltdown at Spurs. I can't wait. Now I need to go and catch Expression's meltdown today, bro. I need to see that. I need to inject that in my veins. Inject that. You know what I'm saying? I need to have that injection of seeing Tottenham fans crumbling, bro. Looking at We Are Tottenham, yeah. I love seeing them crying, bro. Them man look crumbled. They look finished, man. You look like the Olsen twins now. Like, they look finished. You know what I mean? Absolutely finished, man. Damn, if we won that game, bro. Don't worry, I'm going to be shameless. I don't care, bro. I'm sending for Deji, bro. Sending for him. I don't care. I'm going to be shameless. I don't care. I'm going to be shameless. We didn't lose, so I can be shameless. You know what I'm saying? If we lost, then yeah, it would have been mad. But they've lost 2 on the bounce now. We drew. We won one and drew. So at the end of the day, I can put my chest out. It is what it is. A little bit. Pigeon chest. That Spurs loss took some of my depression away, to be honest. Listen, it is what it is, bro. People, make sure you hit the like button, man. Let's cook Deji tomorrow. Listen, you lot, yeah, go ham. I'm reading out. Any comment that's ham on Deji, I'm reading out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you subscribe to Deji's channel as well as this channel as well, so we can cook him. Tomorrow, he's getting cooked straight away. We're not getting into the Arsenal game straight away. We're getting into Spurs, bro. He is getting cooked straight away. Churrasco settings. Yeah? Bay asado. You know what I mean? Con tempero, with the sauce, everything. Salt Bay settings, bro. That guy's going to get it. I'm telling you. I've been allowing this guy to run his mouth saying, oh, yeah, we're going to win the league. Bro, as much as I give praise, yeah, you lot ain't to that level. Like, relax. But, you know, he made his own rope. He can hang himself on his own rope, and it is what it is. Deji Spurs. So listen, people, listen. Big up to everyone that's been watched the watch along. That's watched the match reaction. Big up to all of you lot. Arsenal won, Southampton won, but we're still top of the league. Tomorrow, rival show, me, hopefully Fuad and Deji. And yeah, I got enough smoke for their art.